everybody, it's Crafty Rhea. Welcome back to another video. Today I will be recycling these two Christmas cards. I received both of them as in one of my wishes on one of the Facebook groups I belong to. I will link that Facebook group below. I thought these would both be fun to make. This first one has this piece, maybe a medallion or whatever you want to call it, that I can cut out and I can raise up off the card, and I might even be using the back of that card. And then this card here has this like wooden plaque, I guess, and this really pretty holly sprig, and it has a lot of texture. I think you can kind of see it there. I'm not a fan of this plaque, the shape of it. I think it's kind of weird. So I'm going to cut it out into a square. The only problem is to get the full word greetings in there. If I cut the side of this square for the word greetings, you can see this red piece will still show. I can cut the red off the top and the bottom, and that will be fine, but I don't want just that one little piece of red to show on the side. So I went through my markers and I found this Sharpie marker, and as you can see, I started to color in that red, and it blends better with the background, so we're going to do that as well. I also have two card bases. I will be using the standard A2 side card bases. These are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. These are just regular white cardstock that I get at Walmart. I have some silver and gold cardstock that I might use for matting, and I also have this piece of glittery cardstock that was on my desk that I thought I might use, and I have these two pieces of paper that I may use as well. I'm not exactly sure. I won't know until I start cutting apart. So let's go ahead and start with this card, since I pretty much know what I want to do with this card. I'm going to start by cutting the front and the back off. I'm just going to cut the fold off. And then I'm going to use this as my card base. That way I have something fresh to put this up on. I don't have to worry about cutting it out perfectly. So I'm going to cut this out in a square. I'm going to use this on the inside of the card. So first I will cut out the Christmas blessings portion, and I will set that aside for the inside of the card. That'll be my inside sentiment. And then I will cut the straight lines on this image. There we go. Get rid of my scraps. And I'll be using these scissors. Someone asked me about these scissors. They're called Cutter Bee scissors, and I've had them for many years. I believe they sell them at most craft stores. I will look on Amazon and see if I can find a link for you. And I'm just going to fussy cut these corners. If you have a circle punch that's the same size, you could also use the circle punch in the corners. And I probably have one, but I didn't think to get it out before the video, so we'll use scissors today. And that's probably easier anyway, because I think all of you have scissors of some sort. These scissors are great. They are super sharp. and they're nice and small. They clean up easy. I use nail polish remover on them to get the glue off. Sometimes alcohol works. It just depends on how gummed up I get them. So there we go. We have that piece all ready. And then I'm going to cut this out so it mats on my card back. I'm going to take a little bit off the top because some of the edges are a little bent up. And I like to have a clean edge whenever possible. And then I'll start on this edge. I'll make it a clean edge. And then I will cut it to 4 1/8. The card is 4 1/4. And then I will cut this side the long ways to 5 3/8. So that way it mats on that card with about 1/16 of an inch on each side. So what I want to do with this piece, I want to add some ribbon to it. But first I want to decide if I want to use gold or silver. So it depends on what I'll mat this on. I have to decide if I like it better on the gold or if I like it on the silver. I think it shows up better against the gold. It's too light for the silver, and I think the gold brings out the yellow in that church. And also this here is kind of a gold color, so we'll go with the gold. Let's see if it fits this way. It doesn't. So let's go ahead and do it this way. For this, I will use my tape runner. It is a thinner piece of cardstock. It's not super thick. And it's also going on that gold, which is a non-porous surface. So the wet glue will slide around a little bit, I think. So I thought in this case, I will use tape. And I'm trying to line up the bottom edge and the bottom edge and the side. And I will cut this out. I got this gold cardstock at Hollow's Paper Craft. They sell paper by the pound. It is one heck of a store. And I really liked it. I thought it was really cool. So I got gold and silver. So I'm going to use my scissors again and just mimic that little circle, half circle. It's not perfect. A circle punch would be better. But it's also handmade. This cardstock's pretty thick, so it's a little harder to get a good cut. There we go. And then I have some gold ribbon. I have gold washi tape, but I don't think it's wide enough. So I do have this gold ribbon, and I thought I would just put it on the inside. I want to see if I want to use the gold though. Yeah, I think I'll stick with gold. I'm going to use these scissors to cut it. These scissors are newer, and I haven't totally destroyed them with paper yet. My cutter bees are great for paper, but not as good for ribbon. I'm going to just run some adhesive down the center of this. And I will put this ribbon down. I got this ribbon at Dollar Tree around Christmas time. That's what it looks like. It comes in all of the Christmas colors. And I'm Just going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back. I take the adhesive and run it from the card all the way to the edge of the ribbon, so that way when I fold the ribbon over, I have a double thickness of adhesive there to really hold that ribbon in place. And then I will go ahead and just mat the card on here. I'll use my tape runner. I'm going to put an extra little piece on each side of that ribbon just to make sure it holds down really good. And then I will go ahead and put this up on some foam tape. I am almost out of this little roll of foam tape. This is from the Dollar Tree, but a wonderful viewer sent me some more, so that is awesome. The stuff she sent I don't even have to cut, which is great. Awesome. All right, and I will just go ahead and take the backings off. It helps if you have a little bit of a fingernail to do this. If you don't have an edge of your fingernail, you can use a straight pin. That's another good way. I see a lot of people doing that. And then I'm just going to place this down. And then on the inside, I will put Christmas blessings. Let me see if it fits on this. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Let's see, make sure it's not too wide. It's not. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll mat it on that leftover piece of gold. And I'll just use this whole piece and just kind of center it on there. There we go. So there's the inside, very flashy, and then the outside. I think that's pretty cool. Recycling that card, it added some dimension and some glitter on the front. I really like it. I will set that aside for now and move on to the next card. So then we have this card. I'm going to use the same card back, the same size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And like I said, I'm going to use this Sharpie marker. It doesn't say the color. It is kind of an olive green, I would call it. And I'm just going to color this red, the red part. And if a little red stays on there, that's okay. And there is gold in here, and the gold still shines through the Sharpie, so that's good. Sharpie markers are alcohol-based ink. They are permanent markers, just like Copics. They're very inexpensive compared to Copics and some of the other brands. I'm not an artist, and I know some people will say there's a difference, but for things like this, I don't notice a difference at all. If you're going to do rubber stamping and blending, there may be a difference. But for general use, I use them even for coloring my rubber stamping. It doesn't, I'm not much of an artist, so I don't notice the difference. Anyway, there we go. And you can barely tell that that was red. So I'm going to start by cutting this card apart. I will cut the front off. I'm not going to use the green line on it, so I'm just going to cut it just into that green line. And then I will trim the whole green edge off to start with. Well, off of 3 sides. And then I will trim out the word Season's Greetings. First, I will trim it just to the edge of that red because I want to use this piece on the card. And now I will trim it on this side. Just a little bit more needs to come off. There we go. I will trim it right under the word greetings. And then I will trim this side off. And then the top. There, I like that way better than that other shape. I would use the center of this, but that is far too close. Although I could keep the word Merry Christmas on there. But you know what? I'll cut it out. If I don't use it, I can use it on another card. If I don't use it on this card, because it is going to be very wide. All right, so we have this card, and I'm not exactly sure what I am going to do with this yet. I think I might do something like that. My husband's out in the other room getting a drink, and the bird is going crazy. So I have to decide which background paper I want to use. This green I received in some Happy Mail recently, although you can't really tell what it is there. And then this was just in my stash. I think I'll use that as the background. So I will cut a piece of this just a little smaller than the card. And I will start it at 4 1/8, 5 3/8. I will save this little piece to mat my sentiment on the inside, I bet. Whatever sentiment I use. So I have this, holly berries. I think it goes good with the other things. And then I have this. And then I think I will raise this up. I'll mat that and raise it up. So let's start by adhering this down. I crumpled up a corner. I will put that in the bottom left because that will be covered. I didn't hold my paper down very good when I put the tape runner. And then I will put this down in this corner. Again, I'll use my tape runner. And then this will be the focal image. And as you can tell, you can't really see that there was red on the side, so that is good. And that'll go there. So I want to decide what to mat it on. I have gold, and then I have this other stuff. The gold, I think is kind of pretty. Let me see if I like this better. I like that better, but I don't think it's going to give it enough contrast. So I'll go ahead with the gold. Use my tape runner again. And I'll line up two of the corners. Let the corners of the cardstock do the work for me. So I only have to cut two. I have to cut that a little bit more. Again, I'm looking kind of at it at an angle. I'm not straight up and down. Otherwise, you would see my undyed head. And nobody wants to see that. I haven't been going anywhere, so I have not dyed my hair in a while. Okay, so we have that. I think it's really cute. And I'm going to go ahead and raise this up a little bit on some of this foam adhesive. I do need to clean my scissors. They are starting to get gummed up. I've used them for foam adhesive a little too much. Well, it's never too much, but you know, quite a few times in a row without cleaning them. And I will put this up in this corner. There we go. I like it. I might do one more thing. Grab my bling box, because we all know that I love my bling box. And I might put some red, yeah, some little red bling on the Christmas tree ornaments there. I'm just covering up the ones that are already on the card. And I'm using the little ones. They match in size, and they're also not as high up off the paper since I already have this up on some foam squares. Just need two more. There we go. Maybe I'll put one at the top of the tree. There. And that adds a little bit of glitter to it. It has a really neat vintage feel to it. I really like that card. It came out very good. I'm going to add a couple little accents to both of these cards. Again, in my bling box. I thought on this one I would put 3 red pieces of bling down at the bottom here, just to add a little something. I like it. And the same thing with this. I think I'll add, well, I don't know. Do I want a piece of bling in each corner? Or no, I think I'll just add 3 at the bottom, just like the other card. What's nice about the bling on this adhesive, it's already spaced for you. I don't have to line them up. So I have those 2. I'm going to see if I have another sentiment for the inside of that card. I have my card scraps box, and I save all little pieces in here. Let's see if I can find something. There we go. Wishing you a joyful holiday season will work. Let's see if I have something else. Yeah, I think that one's going to be the best out of what I have. And I think I'm going to cut off the snowflakes since they don't really go with the card. I also have a rubber stamp that says, "May all the joys of the season be yours." I use that a lot, but if I have a sentiment cut out, I prefer to use that since it's recycling. I will put these pieces back in my card scraps, and I will go ahead and mat that right on here. And this paper's pretty thin, so I will go ahead and use my adhesive, my tape runner. There we go. And I like that I was able to use that scrap as well. I like to use up my scraps because it helps keep my scrap drawer emptier. And then it also brings the front to the inside. There we go. 2 cards done. This first one, gorgeous. This would be nice for a man as well. It's not, either one of them would be nice for a man. They're not very girly cards. So there you go, 2 more cards done. I hope you enjoy the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you do. Leave me a comment below with your thoughts and ideas. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're doing anything Christmas in July. And then also, if you haven't yet subscribed, I'd love it if you did. And then head on over to my Facebook group, Create with Crafty Rhea. I'd love to see you over there. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And until the next video, you know what to do. Go get crafting. Bye-bye.